Have you ever woken up from a dream that felt so real, so vivid? You had to take a moment to remember where you were. Now, what if you woke up and that dream had followed you into the waking world? What if it left behind something tangible, something impossible? This is the story of Brother Leo, and a text that defies all logical explanation. The Sleeper's Gospel. Our story begins in a quiet, isolated monastery, nestled high in the mountains, a place where time seems to slow down. The year is 1898. Here, a young monk named Brother Leo lived a life of quiet contemplation, prayer, and study. He was known for his diligence, his calm demeanor, and his unremarkable, peaceful existence. But one night, everything changed. Leo fell into a dream unlike any he had ever experienced. It wasn't a jumble of fragmented images or confusing narratives. Instead, he found himself in an immense, ethereal library. The shelves stretched up into an endless, starlit void, and they were filled with books bound in materials he didn't recognize. A sense of profound peace and ancient wisdom filled the air. As he walked through the silent aisles, he felt an unseen presence guiding him, not with words, but with a gentle pull towards a specific, unassuming volume. The book was small, bound in dark, smooth leather with no title or markings. As he opened it, shimmering text began to flow across the pages. The language was strange, a script he had never seen before, yet in the logic of the dream, he understood every word perfectly. It spoke of cosmic balance, of the interconnectedness of all living things, of love as the fundamental fabric of existence. It was a gospel, but it was unlike any scripture he knew. It was universal, philosophical, and deeply personal all at once. He spent what felt like an eternity in the dream, absorbing every line, every profound concept. Then, he awoke. The morning light was just beginning to filter through the small window of his cell. His head was buzzing, the dream's memory crystal clear, the feeling of that sacred library still clinging to him. But then, he saw it. On the small wooden desk beside his bed, where only a blank journal and an inkwell had sat the night before, there was a book. It was the book from his dream. His heart pounded in his chest. He reached out a trembling hand and touched it. It was real. The cool, smooth leather felt solid beneath his fingertips. He opened it, and there it was. Same shimmering, unfamiliar script filling, page after page. But how? He hadn't written it. He couldn't have. He didn't even know this language. His inkwell was full, his quill untouched. There was no rational explanation. Confused and terrified, Leo's first instinct was to hide the book. He feared he would be accused of heresy, or worse, of being possessed. For weeks, he kept the Sleeper's Gospel, as he began to call it, hidden beneath a loose floorboard in his cell. Every night, he would pull it out and study it under the faint light of a single candle. The text was a source of both immense comfort and profound fear. Its wisdom resonated with his soul, offering insights that felt like cosmic truths. It spoke of kindness, not as a commandment, but as a natural law, like gravity. It described the universe as a single, breathing consciousness, and every soul as a vital part of it. But the mystery of its origin gnawed at him. Was it a divine gift, a trick of a malevolent spirit, a manifestation of his own subconscious mind, somehow given physical form? The more he read, the more he felt compelled to share its message, but the fear of the unknown held him back. He was torn between his duty to his order and this inexplicable, sacred knowledge. One day, the monastery's abbot, a wise and discerning old man named Father Thomas, noticed a change in Leo. The young monk seemed distracted, his eyes holding a depth and a turmoil that hadn't been there before. He called Leo into his study for a private conversation. "Leo," he said gently, "a shadow hangs over you. Your spirit is not at peace. Tell me what troubles you." Seeing the kindness and concern in the abbot's eyes, Leo finally broke. He confessed everything: the dream, the library, and the impossible book that now sat on the desk between them. He pulled it from his robes and placed it before Father Thomas, fully expecting to be reprimanded, perhaps even The abbot was silent for a long time. He picked up the book, his old, wrinkled fingers tracing the strange, elegant script. He examined the binding, the pages, the ink. He held it to the light, his expression a mixture of awe and bewilderment. He couldn't read the words, of course, but he could feel something radiating from the object, a palpable sense of peace and significance. Instead of anger, Father Thomas showed incredible wisdom. "Leo," he said, his voice low and steady, "I do not understand what this is or where it came from. The ways of the divine are often mysterious, far beyond our comprehension. But I see the effect it has had on you. I see not malice, but a deeper understanding of grace in your heart." He didn't condemn Leo. Instead, he made a decision that would change everything. He declared that the book would be studied, not destroyed. He brought in linguists, historians, and theologians from outside the monastery, sworn to secrecy. This small group of scholars became the first custodians of the Sleeper's Gospel. 4 years, they worked in secret, attempting to decipher the text. They compared it to every known language, ancient and modern, but found no match. It was a complete linguistic isolate, a language with its own complex grammar and syntax. But it seemingly appeared from nowhere. The only key they had was Brother Leo himself. Under a form of meditative hypnosis, Leo was able to access the part of his mind that understood the text. Slowly, painstakingly, he began to translate it. The process took decades. Leo grew from a young man into an old one, dedicating his entire life to transcribing the wisdom that had been given to him in that single, impossible night. The translated text was astonishing. It contained no history, no names, no specific laws. Instead, it was a collection of poetic verses, parables, and philosophical reflections. It spoke of the great symphony, the idea that every action, thought, and feeling contributes a note to the music of reality. It encouraged introspection, empathy, and the pursuit of inner harmony over external dogma. It was a spiritual guide that transcended any single religion, speaking to the core of human experience. The Sleeper's Gospel was never released to the public. The small circle of scholars and their successors decided its message was too profound and its origin too controversial for a world not ready to receive it. They feared it would be misinterpreted, commercialized, or so it remains a secret, carefully guarded. The original book and Leo's handwritten translations are said to be kept in a hidden vault, accessible only to the custodians. So, what do we make of this incredible story? Was Brother Leo a conduit for a divine message? Did he tap into some form of collective unconscious, a universal source of knowledge that exists outside our normal perception? Or could there be a scientific explanation we just haven't discovered yet? The story of the Sleeper's Gospel forces us to question the very boundaries between our minds and reality, between the world of dreams and the world we wake up to. It suggests that perhaps the greatest truths are not found in ancient ruins or historical records, but within the uncharted depths of our own consciousness, waiting for a moment of stillness to be discovered. The story may be a legend, a myth passed down through generations, but it leaves us with a beautiful and unsettling question. What wonders might be waiting for us, just on the other side of sleep? Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the mysterious. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into the unexplained. Let me know in the comments what you think was the Sleeper's Gospel, a miracle, a psychological phenomenon, or something else entirely. I'd love to hear your theories. Until next time, stay curious.